right, ladies and gents, this is our weekly Team Fire, Go Sapphire, Bad Start training so that you're getting off to a very good start and you're doing things as according to the system that has been so brilliantly put in place by our global master ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes, as well as our CEO and Chairman, Mr. Holton Buggs. So I wanted to welcome each and every one of you. There was one thing that I did want to look at. Grab this real quick. Where is my... Hold on 1 second, you all. This bad boy right here will change your life. The flight plan calendar, okay? Because it allows us to map out the calendar with our goals, and then you can look at individual goals. So I have all of the up and coming leaders, their volumes in my calendar for this month, what their goals are. So it allows me to help keep them on accountability track. And then here, you're going to write down each leg that you're building, that you're cultivating. You'll identify the leaders in each leg. And then as they bring in new people, because you want to drive it 4 levels deep. So if you're not using this, don't miss out on that. Make sure that it's an incredible tool. It's very empowering. A couple of things that I had a chance to talk. We had a leadership call for Sapphires and above. And we were talking about just specific guideposts that you can use to build your organization. So number one, if you have achieved the It Takes Two bonus this week from Monday to today, please make sure that you identify yourself in the chat if you have achieved the It Takes Two bonus. If you have ranked up, maybe you just hit director or senior director or above and it just happened, we don't know about it, please make sure you put that in the chat so that we can properly recognize you. So there's one aspect is having a funnel of exposing your prospects. And when we talk about a funnel for exposing your prospects, we're talking about the first step, you can get them in front of something very brief. So there's the I Decide presentation, which is a great lead-in tool before someone gets on a Zoom. Or you can present them with a very brief 8 to 10 minute YouTube presentation. There are a handful of those on YouTube for iBoomerang that you can find. Find one that you like because you will talk about it more enthusiastically and you'll learn it very quickly. And then you get them on the Zoom. Understand that the Zoom is always top priority. So whenever I'm personally talking to a prospect, I'm only focusing on setting up an appointment to get on a Zoom. Zoom is your best friend because it's the closest thing we have to a face-to-face interaction. And that will always produce the highest closing ratio in terms of people saying, yes, I'm ready to get started right now, because there's the energy, there's looking into someone's eyes. And so the closest thing that we have right now is the Zoom. So always set the Zoom presentation first, set that appointment first, And once you set the appointment, then you say, hey, listen, I'm going to send you something. It's about 8 to 10 minutes. Make sure you take a look at it before you hop on the Zoom so you have a better sense of what's going on. That way you've helped your guest have two exposures. So I'll say, hey, I'm going to send you some of our artificial intelligence. Take a look at it. It's pretty cool. It's only 10, 12 minutes or whatever. And then, when you get on the Zoom, you'll have a better frame of reference. So by the time they get on the Zoom, they're on their second exposure, okay? So even if you have a Zoom that you're putting somebody on later today, I know some of you, I'm doing a Zoom for you after the Our Home to Your Home call with Mr. and Mrs. Bugs. So for those people that I'm doing a Zoom for today, make sure with your guest, you send them a quick note, hey, check this out. This is some of our technology. It's about 10 to 12 minutes, so you'll have a better frame of reference when we get on the Zoom. So by the time they get on the Zoom, ideally, they're on their second exposure, okay? And once they've gotten on a Zoom, if they're not ready to enroll, then figure out what it is they want to see more of. So my question is, do you need any other additional information to make a buying decision about your future? So I wait for the response. They may say, well, I want to just kind of get my head around it. Okay, fantastic. How about I send you a little bit of information on just the perspective of our CEO and chairman, Mr. Holton Bugs? Great. So I'll pull up, I did a YouTube interview with Mr. Holton Bugs and just freestyling Q&A, and I'll send them that link. That's just a little bit more information. It's more of a private look into the mind and the vision of what he brings to the table, and then we go from there. But that's the third exposure. So you want to just continuously drip on your guest until they've decided to enroll. Some people, they're going to enroll the same day. Some will enroll the next day. Some will enroll the next week, and some will enroll the next month or longer. But you have to figure out creative ways to stay in touch and communication with those individuals. So I want you to write this down. Number one, make a decision if you just want to focus on It Takes Two, or if you would like to really focus on building full-time income. Some of you are going to be focused on full-time income. So your first order of business is to achieve Sapphire, and then you're going to help someone in your organization achieve Sapphire. Those are the first they're very simple steps. So if you're someone that I'm talking to and you're really focusing on achieving full-time income, your first order of business is to achieve Sapphire and then help someone in your organization achieve Sapphire. It could be one of your personals. It could be someone that is within your organization where you're digging through to find another individual that wants full-time income. The rest can just focus on It Takes Two, because anybody can enroll 2 people. I've been in network marketing for 10 years. 10 years. I've never ever come across an individual that can enroll 2 people. Like, I've never met that person. That person doesn't exist, just so you all know. That's why we have that as the foundation for the promotion. It takes 2. So those are your 2 points of focus. That is your exposure funnel, like making sure they have steps, and then asking for, if you need help, just ask for it, okay? For those of you that are making the phone calls and you're setting appointments, and again, if you're doing something and it's not moving, then pick up the phone and ask for whatever the tweak is, okay? On another note, I want to recognize all of the mothers that are on here. It's Mother's Day, so I want to give a shout to all of the beautiful women who are raising sons and daughters all around the world. We appreciate you. And I was thinking about just the ability to celebrate and recognize that. I think it's something we should do every day, obviously. to celebrate and recognize all of the moms for just what you do and how you show up in life. It's not a one-day thing. It is an everyday thing of just appreciation and gratitude. So I'm a bit of a contrarian. I don't like it when days are created for commercialism. I like days that are created for purpose, and I think every day is Mother's Day. So I wanted to hear from some of the other Sapphires that had some things that they really wanted to share in terms of some of the areas they've been having success. I do want to recognize Sandra Thomas. She put it here in the chat. She is another It Takes Two achiever for the week. She is a Sapphire leader, and she continues to lead by example. I think, I can't remember, I might be getting my weeks wrong. Elle, was that last week or this week that you did It Takes Two?
Yeah, it was last week. It was before.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. But just want to make sure that we're recognizing everybody. But again, Sandra, congrats to you for leading by example. And before we bring on Sandra, because I wanted her to share a couple of things, did any of the other Sapphires have anything they wanted to share?
Yeah, I do, Ed.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Elle. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the amazing mothers out there. You're doing an amazing job. I know it's the hardest job in the world to be a mom. So, I am a mother of two as well, amazing girls. But yeah, really quickly, just a feedback from this morning call, like Ed mentioned. I think it's so important, and sometimes we forget, and people forget that it's so important to remember how important it is to keep in mind that this business is built fast. Like, it is so important to build it fast. And I think it was Mr. Fabrizio, he was speaking on a Saturday flight school. So he was comparing it to a train. This is train, you're jumping on and we are moving so fast, right? So I think a lot of people forget that aspect. I just wanted to throw out that reminder that this is a business where we build fast. We show. And on that note, also, if you guys, like Ed was mentioning, giving the list to your uplines, to your leaders, supervisors, sponsors, if you don't have the time, making those calls, making the time for those calls. So I know I spoke with some of my team members, partners, about those lists as well, and reaching out to their lists on their behalf. So that was that's something I wanted to remind Ed and everybody.
Amen. Fast is fun and slow sucks.
Hey everybody, Sabina here. Want to encourage you guys to utilize social media as well. My two partners, they don't speak English at all. They joined South African entrepreneurial groups, and they start talking to those people who are interested in business opportunities. They were just using my scripts and just translating from Russian into English, and I was checking their messages and I was just correcting them, and they did invite 8 people on Saturday. So you speak English, take advantage of your countries, join those groups and invite them to the presentations.
That's a really good point, Sabina. I think a lot of people, if they're not familiar with the social media landscape as a place to do business, then they shy away from engaging in it because they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And something as simple as what you just said, just identify groups that you have things in common with from a business perspective and build relationship. And like you said, invite them to the presentations. We do presentations all the time, every day, multiple times a day. So it's one of the easiest things that you can do. Thank you, Ms. Sabina. All right, Sandra Thomas, come on here, and I would love for you just to kind of share with what's been happening in your organization. And I know you have some very inspiring stories to enlighten the group with, so please, if you would, take over.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm busy at the moment because I've got a very big goal this month, obviously. I want to go Ruby. So we've been working really hard. In the last 10 days, I'd say we've broken 4 directors, a new one coming up tomorrow. So that'll be number 5. I've eventually joined the Boom 100 Club. It's taken me a while. My focus hasn't been there. It's been on building the team. So I eventually got into the Boom 100 Club yesterday. I've done my take 2 for May. And my brand new frontline, who's been in the business 5 days, has already done her take 2.
Wow.
And it's great because then we get that bonus. So if you help one of your downline get their take 2 done, and you get that $100 bonus, which is nice. And I just think that for my group, we just think that the time for moaning and complaining is over. You know, people say, oh, but it's so difficult, and people are saying no, but we've had hundreds of no's. And if 100 people say no to you, just keep going, because you only need 3, and then it's a wrap. You just need 3. Find 3, and then you've done. So our new motto is screw it, let's do it, from Richard Branson. He says that. So I think that's what we should all adopt. Screw it, let's do it. You know, me personally, I just think as well that there's these really nice people out there, and I have them in my team. They're such gentle, nice, sweet people. And they need to get a little bit more aggressive, because they just give people too much time, and they're just too nice, and they need to have, I don't know if it's posture so much, but it's a little bit more force. So I think once they get that, which we're working on, then people don't just walk all over them. They kind of know that they've got a mission, and they're doing this with or without them. So I think that's what people need, is just a little bit more force, not to be so sweet and nice all the time. Right, but it's exciting. Things are happening. Things are really happening. And it's nice to see Sabina and Ella in South Africa, building a team in South Africa. Cool. We're coming to Russia. We're coming to
Absolutely.
Sandra, to your point, I remember hearing from a $1 million a year income earner. They asked the question. They said, well, if you could go to jail for 10 months, and you knew after coming out of prison 10 months later that there would be a check coming to you every month for $50,000 a month for the rest of your life, would you take that deal?
For sure.
And everybody's hand goes up. And he immediately said, put your hands down, because you guys are all liars. And he was like, because there's going to be a birthday, and you can't miss so-and-so's birthday. There's going to be somebody's wedding. There's going to be some type of emergency. There's going to be some day of celebration. He said, there's going to be all these things that you allow to distract you from doing your time. And that's always stuck with me. And I think sometimes, and I'm only talking to, those of you that are kind of crazy. And I think everybody in here is a little bit crazy, because you have enough courage to at least have some vision for your dream and get after it. And then there's a different level of crazy where you have to succeed at all costs. And there's nothing that you see other than the next goal that's in front of you. And there's an obsessiveness to that kind of mindset. And when you're that level of crazy, you're not moving the same way that 98% of the people around you are moving. And so it can be a little difficult to understand when not everybody's in that space, because you're just operating at a different level of obsession with creating results and being successful. So, when I hear Sandra talk about, people are too nice, or you tolerate a lot of things because you haven't made that decision, that next level decision yet about what it is that you want, what you're looking for. Your posture is not as strong. And when I think about that story and that question, would you do 10 months in prison for $50,000 a month for the rest of your life? Even though everybody initially says yes, the truth is that it's always easy to say yes when you're comfortable, to say yes when you're sitting down and you have, in your nice, comfortable home and all of that. But can you make that level of commitment when nobody else is around? And I have to constantly kind of check myself, because I don't understand. I don't understand when someone says to me, this call that we do is an hour because we have another call that starts at 5. So I've tightened this call. We used to be a little bit longer than that. So we've tightened it to an hour. It's the same time every single week. So I'll get messages and someone will say, well, I have a party to go to, or a brunch, or I have something that, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but I don't understand that. My brain doesn't work that way. I say, look, if where you are, okay, I'm only talking to those of you who are dissatisfied. I'm only talking to those of you who are dissatisfied. If where you are in your life financially is acceptable to you, and you have zero debt, and you have more money coming in every month than you can possibly spend, then by all means, do the family thing and do the brunch and do the this and do the that, because you can't schedule an hour out of a 24-hour day. You can't schedule an hour for your business and your success. If you're sitting in that position financially, you have zero debt, you have more money coming in every month than you can possibly spend, or you are satisfied with where you're at, wherever that is, then by all means do that. But if you're someone that has expressed to me or in this group, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you know what, we've been struggling with money. Money is a point of tension and stress in our household, the lack of money. Or I'm not making enough, we're not making enough. If any of you have been in that space and you can't figure out how to schedule an hour out of a 24-hour day, and people wonder why they continue to have the same struggles year after year. I use the story to illustrate the fact that each of us has to make some decisions about what it is that we're here to produce and create. I can't even, listen, write this down. There will always be special occasions. There will always be special occasions to distract you from your goals. Always. And for me personally, I'm like, well, I don't really care about Mother's Day. I know that's callous, Ed. Oh, it's horrible. I don't. I'm not changing my business plan for Mother's Day or anybody's birthday or any of that, because I am so dialed in on freedom for our entire family that is non-negotiable. I will not be dictated to by someone else's agenda who's not going to be the one putting the food from residual income on my freaking table. I won't. And do some of the people in my family, do they sometimes get their feelings hurt? Sure. But the feelings have nothing to do with finance. Feelings have nothing to do with finance. Their feelings are not going to build our residual income to $100,000 a month. It's not going to happen if I base what I do on their feelings. But I'm a little crazy like that. A few of you on here are a little crazy like that. And we're just looking for some more crazies, okay? We're just looking for some more crazies. So we love all of you, we do. And I love people wherever they're at. If you're satisfied with where you are in life, God bless you. And I'm just happy that you're a part of our culture and you get a chance just to be around some great, amazing people, and you get a chance to see it with a front row seat. You can see lives change. I think that's awesome. If you're someone who's already debt-free, you have more money coming in than you can possibly spend every single month, and you just like being here and contributing, I love you too. But for the few of you who have made a commitment to change your family's financial future, and you make this and you keep this a priority until it's done, well, that's my tribe. That's my intimate tribe. And that's what I look for every single time I'm on calls and prospecting and building. So I want to make sure, okay, good stuff. We got it. Okay. So I asked a special guest speaker to hop on, and this gentleman I had the pleasure of meeting in Houston at Accelerate. And I believe, you know, our paths have crossed before indirectly. We never have had like a long conversation, but I'm pretty sure that our paths crossed at some point. I don't know a whole lot about him. I only know how he shows up every day. And I know because in our business, we don't listen with our ears. In our business, we listen with our eyes. And from what I have seen from this individual, it has been nothing short of crazy. Like, he's my kind of crazy. This person is a make it happen captain. This person told me when we were in Houston, he was like, you know, here's what's going on in my business right now. And he was having a couple of challenges, but he wasn't whining or complaining. He was just saying, here's some of the challenges, and here's what I'm going to do. And he had this look in his eye, like he looked crazy to me when he said it. Like, here's what I'm going to do. Like, I was like, oh Lord, this dude about to do some stuff. Like, he about to make some things happen. And that was the first time I'd ever talked to him face to face like that. And to his word, he has been absolutely lighting a fire. And I just wanted to bring him on to share a little bit of his story and his come from, and to highlight his leadership, his example, how he is absolutely setting his market on fire. Mr. and brother Oshea, let me make sure you're unmuted. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, doing great.
Man, let me tell you something. Your energy and just how your posture, your come from, you speak from your heart and you speak from doing. There's like it's like a primal instinct for success that comes out of you when you open your mouth. So give us a little bit of background. Tell us what you were doing before you got involved in the network marketing profession, and then tell us how iBoomerang came into your life.
Well, my background is I came from UPS of 25 years.
Wow.
And I retired at the age of 43 just because I wanted to do something different. I could have stayed and gave them 20 more years, but I knew it was something greater out there for me. And I got involved. I ended up getting a phone call from a friend of mine that had me to come to take a look at a presentation from the company that I was in previous. And When I seen that, I jumped in and I took off like never before. And I started hitting ranks after ranks. And it was blowing a lot of people's minds, like all over, like, how in the world is he doing this in a short period of time? But during that time, I got wounded. But I still had that drive in me. It just wounded me for a while. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I was going to come back even stronger than before. So I ended up getting another call from the same person that had me to take a look at iBoomerang. And it was on my birthday of January the 25th. And I know that's Mike Jett's birthday as well, and also Johnny Wembry. And I could have did a lot of other things, but I knew it was destined for me to be there. Mm. So it was a lot of obstacles that came into my life on my way of even trying to get to where I needed to be at, but I still was determined that I was going to get there. Didn't care if I got there late. I was determined that I was going to get there. Mm. And when I got there, they was just getting ready to start the presentation. And the whole time during the presentation, Julian Bernard was up giving the presentation. Uh-huh. And while I sat there and watched, it just blew my mind. And it was a no-brainer. And I was like, if I killed the previous company that I was in, I just knew that I was going to murder this one. And I jumped all in. Came in first class from day one. And Julian asked me, he said, I see something in you. And he told me, if I can get my party within 2 days, he will fly back into Indianapolis and do it. And I told him, I'm gonna do that. And I rented out a banquet hall. And I packed that banquet hall out. And Julian came there and he said, I knew that you had it in you, but I didn't know that you was gonna do what you did today. Mm. And it just blew my mind. And after that, I just continued to run with this company. I continue to have good parties. Every last good party that I had, I packed it out. And my team started growing. It started growing. And when I went to Houston for Accelerate, it just lit another fire under me. When I was down in Houston, I called all of my team. And I told them, pick a day. I gave them 2 days to pick. I said, either Monday night when I get off that plane or Tuesday morning, I'm having a training with all of y'all because we're about to explode in this. And that's exactly what I did. I took off and I told my sponsor, Tracy, that for the month of April, I'm going all in. Told Julian, I told Mike Jets, and I also told Johnny Wembry. I said, y'all watch and see what I'm about to do. Y'all watch and see what my team is about to do. Because Sapphire, here I come. And I'm determined to reach my goals no matter what may come or what may go. I'm determined. And that's what you got to be. You got to be determined to reach whatever goal that you set in front of you. Don't get attached to your no's and yes, because you're going to get a lot of no's. But it's still some yes is going to come. And my no's just make me even stronger. Mm. I have a press, I have a passion that nobody cannot stop or put out. And I teach my team to do the same. I said, with this business that we're in, you got to be a fighter. You got to be a warrior. And that's what I raise up. I raise up winners. I raise up winners. It's no quitting over here. It's no defeat over here. Because when I go up, we all go up. And we going up in victory.
Wow.
Like I said, without God, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I give all credit to him first. And I thank God even for my team that I have.
That's good.
Because we are striving and we are determined to reach our goals. And I told them for the month of May, this is Knowledge by Action Month. One on my team to hit a rank. I don't care if it's just director. We all are going to hit a rank in the month of May. And you all just watch and see what we're about to do. No lip service, but action this month.
All right, all right, all right. Now, to my understanding, was you've only been in 2 companies?
Yes.
So you worked for 20 years, had a career, retired, and typically when people retire, Oshea, they're not necessarily looking for a new opportunity. They're kind of like, oh, I put in my time, let me collect my check, and I'll get a little part-time job. And what was it about you that you were even open to going into a business and doing something you've never done before? And what do you attribute to you having success right out of the gate?
Because I was always the type of child that I just was determined to meet whatever. And I'll say that peer pressure never got to me, ever. Even in high school, growing up or whatever, peer pressure never got to me. If I said no, that's what it was. If I said yes, that's what it was going to be. And I just knew it was something else out there. I got tired of clocking in and out. And I wanted my time freedom back. I wanted to be able to go as I please, be able to do what I wanted to do. Because you got one life to live, and I wanted to live it to my fullest.
Wow.
So when this was brought to me, I just knew, I'm like, it's in me. I can do this. I can do this. And that's what I did.
That's powerful, brother. Now, I know you strike me as someone that when you do something, you're going to give it everything that you have to give because of the way that you're wired. You don't do stuff halfway. You have a standard of excellence that you bring to the table. And you talked about, being wounded. I think anybody can relate to times in life when you've been knocked down, when you've taken a gut punch and you got to take a knee and take an 8 count. And you talked about being wounded for a period of time. How long were you in that wounded space? And what did it take for you to build yourself back up, to get back in the game and come back full force?
Well, when I got wounded, before I got wounded, I was at a big, that one of the guys from Nashville, Tennessee, he was up doing the training. And like he said, I know this don't have anything to do with church or anything, but he said, I just felt a shift in the atmosphere. And he asked, did he have the liberty to do what he do? And they told him that he did. So he came off the platform and just started walking the center, the convention center. And he pulled me out in front of thousands of people that was there. And really, he started prophesizing over my life. He said, what you are about to do with this company is about to blow people's mind. And some people that was there with me, they was like, he's already doing it. He said, no, you haven't seen what he's about to do with this company. But he got to stay focused and don't let the enemy get in there. And he told me to come to the front of the room. And he said, if I be a man of God, he said, I prophesy that you will be traveling all over the world, doing exactly what I'm doing. And he said, I'm going to be the first one that's going to deposit into your life. And he told me to go out into the audience and grab 2 more members and lock arms. And he said, if y'all stick together and don't let the enemy come in there, because the enemy is going to try you and he's going to come to wear you out. And that's exactly what the enemy did. He may knock me down, and I was down for a little bit over a year, but it was somebody else that prophesied to my life and said, I don't know, whatever you was doing, you was supposed to have been a multi-millionaire by now. And she said, and the Lord is giving you a second chance of a great opportunity. She said, it's about to come quicker than you can blink your eyes, quicker than you can turn around. And she said, don't let it pass you by this time, because this is what's going to make you a multi-millionaire and set you financially free. And I told her I received that. And it was 3 days later that I got a phone call from my sponsor.
Wow.
And I've been in her for about 3 times. But this 4th time, I went on and answered her phone call and she introduced me to iBoomerang. And from that, I've been succeeding ever since.
What is your philosophy when it comes to mental toughness and work ethic? How does that factor into your leadership and your success and how you build your team?
Like I tell them, you have to really know what we have our hands on. If you see the value in what we really have in front of us, you don't let nobody, not mama, not daddy, not even the devil, stop you from getting what you want. Because people are going to come to you and tell you, these are pyramid schemes. Oh, this doesn't work. This is that. I done tried this. But you got to have tough skin over here. And that's what I'm teaching my people to do, to press through whatever that may come towards your way. Press through it. That's the only way that you're going to succeed in this business, in this industry. So I teach them to build their self up. Sometimes you got to encourage your own self. You're not going to get a lot of that in this industry. But like I said, when you see the value, you got to go with it.
Come on.
And don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing stop you.
Speaking, we talked a little bit about power source last week, and whatever your belief system may be, if you believe in God or Jehovah or Yahweh or Allah, or you're still figuring it out, having the identity of something greater than yourself. Now, you come across to me as someone that has an alignment with your power source. Like, you understand where you get your strength and your power from, and it takes your belief to other worldly levels because you know how to walk by faith. You have enough faith within you to have a vision, and you go out and you work to fulfill the vision. How do you cultivate that in somebody else? Like, how do you teach people in your team that maybe they don't have the belief that you have? Maybe they haven't cultivated and developed enough faith yet. How do you bring them along?
Well, I start off and let them know that without a vision, the people perish. And I see the vision, and I'm running towards the vision. And if you're a part of my team and you want to run and really win in this, I'm here for you. I just don't want to see myself succeed, but I want to see each and every last one of y'all succeed. Because when you all succeed first, that's going to push me up no matter what. So I also let them know that people are destroyed by the lack of knowledge, what they don't know. So I teach them and I train them and I let them know if you can be teachable, coachable, and a pleasure to work with, we're going to win together. So I let them know, don't have a consumer mindset. Because a lot of people think of now, what's going on today, but you got to have an entrepreneur mindset, looking towards the future. Yes, a lot of people are not traveling right now, but a lot of people are positioning themselves now in the midst of the crisis to get ready to reap the benefits once the crisis is over. Because travel is about to double and triple like never before. And I let them know, everybody throughout the whole world is on lockdown. It's on shutdown. But what do you think a lot of people are doing in their homes besides watching Netflix and on Facebook? A lot of people are booking travel. And I said they are booking for the future. And that's why a lot of people are jumping aboard now in the midst of the crisis. You never want to position yourself after the crisis is over, but position yourself in the crisis to reap the benefits of what's about to come. And I also let them know what the devil meant for bad. With this coronavirus, God is getting ready to turn it around and work it out for our good.
Speak it. Listen, I appreciate you taking some time out to pour into us and share some of your success story. I was talking at the beginning of the call how you and I met for the first time in Houston at Accelerate, and a leader in our company, someone that you're working with, Mr. Julian Bernard, he's another person that I didn't really know him. We would see each other occasionally and over the years, but we never really spent any time together. And I saw him in Houston as well. And I know that he really took, I've watched him take in the beauty of the system of iBoomerang and what Mr. Holton Buggs teaches and what Mr. Edwin Haynes teaches. And I've watched him like create this gumbo pot. He's stirring it. And I saw him hit Ruby. We all saw him hit Ruby, and then he hit Emerald in the same month, because he's doing exactly what you're talking about. He's leading, but he's helping other people to get what they came for. So I think it's a very powerful dynamic that he's leading with, that you're leading with. I'm excited to hear more from the two of you as we progress, as the company gets to know you all on a much bigger scale, because I'm very inspired by how you all are setting the tone and the example. And I know there's some other great people that you're working with as well, but I just wanted to give you all that shout. It's very powerful. And if there's anything that you feel like I didn't ask you or anything else you want to say as we close it out, I want to give the floor back over to you. And thanks again for spending some time with us.
All right, last but least, and I don't get on here to try to preach or nothing, but it's just in me and it just comes out. But I want to leave you with this. Like I said at first, you don't let nobody stop or kill your dreams. Whatever you set your goal for, you reach it. And even when you reach it, you still press on to greater. Because greater increase is coming. You don't just stop where you at and stay stagnant, but you move. You keep on moving forward. And I'm going to say this and wrap it up. I heard a quote that was said, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes better and your better becomes your best. So don't stop. Keep pressing. Keep moving forward. If I can do it, you can do it as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brother Oshea. Show him your love as we wrap up the call. Go ahead and unmute yourselves and give him a shout out. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you hopefully at the event in August, but we'll see you somewhere soon before that, man. Keep ranking up and keep popping.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was fire. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Oshea.
You better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did that.
Thank you.
Well done,
Speaking
man.
the truth, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going fast now. You know they don't want me. I'm going fast now.